Hello all. Well, we've got a problem, a big problem here in the U.S., along with other countries like China, Japan, India, the U.K., all kinds of countries so many countries around the planet are having the same problem that the U.S. is having, and that's spending more money than you can even print. We're about ready to go to war with Russia and Syria, but don't we need money for that? Let me just show you how much money we don't have. So before we even start these new wars, we have to pay off the old ones. Each U.S. citizen has to pay $57,193 if we were to pay back the national debt. That's just the debt on top of the total debt. This is just the outstanding debt. Alright, so if for every U.S. taxpayer they have to pay $154,587, and of course that's much higher now since the video's been made. Of course the U.S. national debt is $18,405,000,000. All the rest has changed. The U.S. total debt is $65,237,927,000,000. Hard to keep that in mind. Mushy, are you paying attention? So, have you ever thought about how much $157,000 is? Because how many people that you know make that kind of money? 157,000 or so. I know of very few that make that kind of money. Most people make about between 12,000 and 30,000 here in the U.S. At least the people I know. Now, I don't know how to get accurate numbers on this kind of thing because they're so skewed here in the U.S. You don't get accuracy. But my question is, if everybody had to pay $157,000 and your rent is probably at least $10,000 or $12,000 a year minimum, if not $14,000, something like that. So you got to pay that and all this other stuff. You'd have to make between about $300,000 for everybody to be able to pay that. Now, as I'm talking, those numbers are going up exponentially, and they're climbing and climbing, and we cannot. It's impossible for us to ever catch up to that, isn't it? It just isn't going to happen, is it? Our goose here in the U.S. is cooked, and it's been cooked a while, and there's a lot of people warning us about the pending doom and gloom coming. It will be a shame to see people like Donald Trump lose their wealth and their identity, because their whole identity is about wealth, isn't it? And a lot of these people are all about wealth by means of military-industrial complex. It's enough to make you throw up. And then they say that we should, if you look at the two candidates on the, like Trump and all these, they want tax cuts for the wealthy, and they want the people at the lower end to pay more. It's the same old thing. We've seen this over and over. As I said, no matter who you vote for, you're going to get the same thing if you vote for DNR. So the U.S. federal spending that's going on before we even start the new wars is $3,676,000,000,000, blah 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 blah, per year. So I guess the point here is that the U.S. is already completely broke. There's no way we can ever pay back any of this. It would be, even if everybody paid $1, you still wouldn't make even a dent in the thing. So you're going to have to pay like $200,000 per person in the U.S. to pay for what we've done in the past. This doesn't include the Russian war, the Syrian war, African wars, and all the other wars that were taking place in. It looks like there's no way out. There's absolutely no way out other than complete bankruptcy and start over somehow. And the people that have money owed to them, oh well, too bad. Do any of you have any idea of a better system than the ones that we have on the planet so far? Any good ideas? Give us a link or something to somebody that may have a good financial idea of how to completely redo the whole thing. I've heard lots of people talk about adjusting this and that, and then I hear a lot of people talking about gold and silver and how you have to buy all this stuff for when the big collapse comes. But really, who's gonna fucking haul hundreds of tons of gold around? That's so unrealistic. And if they're in a vault in a bank, then how do you get to once the banks close? So you have to keep all this gold at home. Risky. I wouldn't bother with gold or silver myself. I think it's a waste of time. Just to update ourselves on the national debt and the total debt and what each person in the U.S. owes. $157,000 is up now. Include Russia and the rest of the wars, you might as well make it $200,000 or $300,000 per taxpayer in the U.S. So I surely appreciate all the comments on the last video and the ups and the downs and the new subscribers. And until next time.